Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for episode 156 of the MeepleCore Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Tim Jennette, the Metal Meeple, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
George Breden.
James Fitzgerald.
In this episode, James and George share their experiences after attending Capcon 2025. We also discuss the board games Tea Witches and Tea Garden, and much more. Enjoy the show! So halfway through that, I don't know if I skipped a few words or it felt like I was just off. And we were talking about this beforehand, but for the listeners out there, I got my tongue tie cut. And that was a lot of work to enunciate that intro. My tongue tie under my tongue literally went to the tip of my tongue. And so I could barely put my tongue past my teeth. Like if you were to stick your tongue out at somebody, I could barely push it past my teeth. That's how bad my tongue tie was. And so now they lasered it off, but the tip of my tongue, because your tongue rubs up against your teeth and stuff to make certain sounds like S and L's and stuff.
Sure.
And now it's just like raw.
It's so different than it was. I'm surprised you can talk at all.
Oh man. Like, okay. The first day I got it done, this was actually, today's Friday. I got it done Wednesday. So it was 2 days ago. And the first day they did the cutting and stuff and they had me raise my tongue. I'd never in my entire life could touch the top of my roof of my mouth. Like I could touch the little shelf behind your front teeth, but I could not touch the roof of my mouth.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's wild. It's like I just had an arm I never knew I had, you know what I mean? Like it's just an appendage that is now like flopping out there and going everywhere.
Tim's just going around licking everything now.
Dude.
Gene Simmons over here.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not that good. My molars at the top back, the top molars, I've always felt them with the side of my tongue because my tongue can't curl back. And now I feel it with the tip of my tongue, and I swear my teeth are fake. They just feel fake. Wow. Like I've never felt them before. It is the craziest thing. But anyway, when they cut it and they had me go up and stuff, and I was doing all these stick your tongue out, move it up here and move it around, and then he would cut more and do it again and stuff.
Oh man.
Well, my tongue was all numb at this point because they injected me and made it all numb. When I went home, it started to wear off. I realized I have never used these neck and tongue muscles like in your throat. I felt like I just went to the gym and was lifting weights with my mouth. Like it was sore, but not because like I did anything extraneous. It's just because I've never used these muscles in that way.
Right.
It's like you're always bench pressing and you're like, yeah. And then you do a different exercise and it hits a muscle group you've never worked on.
Yeah. But all in your neck and your mouth. Did you get like a massive headache?
Did I get, no, I didn't get a headache. Actually, here's the thing. When I was doing the band, the heavy metal stuff for many, many years, I would get fatigued in my throat from singing and talking. And then we did the podcast when I first started it, which was like early 2016. So I would get really tired. My throat was swollen all the time, or it felt swollen. And the back of my neck, I felt like my spine dipped in and my neck spine was like pressing into my esophagus and I couldn't breathe and stuff. And so I went to an ENT. They put a scope down my nose and in my throat. And they're like, because I thought I had polyps or something. And they're like, no, you're perfectly healthy. There's nothing there. I'm like, huh? So I went to an ENT a chiropractor, and they're like, no, your spine's great. I'm like, what is happening? There has to be an explanation for this. Well, a few years ago, Sierra and I were talking, I don't remember when it happened, but we were talking to a friend, and she said she had her tongue tie cut. And there's been a lot of development in the research of this in the past 5 to 6 years, where they've realized that people get their tongue tie cut. It's like taking your skin and just pulling it up, and so when they cut my tongue tie, it's almost like you're all tense and you're putting your shoulders up and you're stretching your neck and you just breathe out like a sigh of release.
Wow.
I don't have that tension in my neck anymore. I don't feel the swollenness in my throat other than like the new muscles. Cause it is like not a spot I've ever felt pain, like soreness before, but it is wild. So other than my tongue being super raw and 2 or 3 times a day, I have to do these weird stretches and do these, like those tongue clicks where you're like, actually hurts. Ow.
Yeah. Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. But I'm supposed to do it really hard. And,
that's your therapy.
that is part of my therapy, but when I do it, it's painful for right now. It's like a sore. It's like a uncomfortable pain. It isn't like hurt. You know what I mean? Saying
right.
It's wild, man. It's wild. And, but otherwise I'm on the podcast again. So
I'm surprised your therapy isn't like they give you a cup of yogurt without a spoon. Be like, here you go, eat this.
A lot of the therapy is just like moving your tongue around like a propeller and stuff. I mean, it's not, I had the, oh man, I had these words down prior to today, but the tongue tie up front, there's also a tongue tie in the back, or it's the same tongue tie, but you go further back. And that's what my son had, my middle child. He had his done on Monday. And so I was like, man, if my 6-year-old can do it, I'm going to do it. And so we're going through it together.
That's cool.
So he doesn't feel alone. And it's been an experience trying to learn how to. The first day I could not say S's. It's like
this is only the second day. You're doing great. We just made you talk for 5 minutes as well. So.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all good. I'm excited for it to fully heal and keep doing the exercises and be able to say lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested in seeing like talking all day and like singing and see if my throat actually becomes sore like it used to. Cause it really felt like my lymph nodes were swollen. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't my lymph nodes. It was just the muscles in my neck being inflamed from straining so hard to speak.
And you're thinking it's polyps. I would have gone straight to cancer or something. Good for you anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's only if I would have looked on WebMD. Like, I'm dying.
Yeah, I'll never do that again. That's not true. I'll do it all the time. Yeah.
I had these like little red spots show up on my forearm, and I was like, "What's this?" And it's like, "You got smallpox," you know. It's not smallpox, dude. What? I know clearly it came from something I ate 5 minutes ago.
I feel sick to my stomach. You have dysentery.
Yeah.
I just found out, I didn't know this. You can get an allergy like at any time. You can just suddenly develop an allergy that you never had before.
Yeah, that's me.
Does that happen to you?
Yes, mate. Throughout my life, I'm pretty much allergic to everything now. It feels
But you could be non-allergic to something, for 40 years and then, hey, now you're allergic to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. Your body changes all the time. I went to this, I've said it many episodes ago, but I went to the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago.
Oh, and that's great.
They had this like exhibit that talks about how many hearts you have throughout your life if you live to be 80 years old. Because if you talk about the cells on the core of your heart and all the cells expand out to the surface and then go away, it like over your lifetime, you had like 3 different hearts, like fully like,
whoa,
you know what I mean? Cause all the cells, you have a new tongue like every 2 weeks. It's crazy.
That is crazy. That's why you grow out of love with people.
Yeah. Cause your heart changes.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So poetic, George.
There you go. I don't know if he's telling us something there or what.
Well, we have 3 episodes. We have 3 topics for you. 1, George and James attended Capstone's convention. I think, is this the second year they've done it, or is this the
first?
Third?
That was the first.
I thought they did one last year. Oh, that was Simon. Maybe I'm getting it confused. But all right, so this is the first Capstone Capcon 2025, or as James's shirt says, Capcon 2020 or 25. I just messed it up again.
Yeah.
It is
It
not
looks like
the
it's
25th.
the 25th. It is not.
Yeah,
No.
that's what a way to make it look like your convention is bigger than what it was. But anyway, we're gonna let them talk about their experiences with that, and then we'll also have 2 games that we're gonna highlight for you in a review format, which is Tea Witches and Tea Garden.
Not in that order, but yes.
Tea Garden and Tea Witches. My bad. Well, we also have some other stuff. We're gonna talk about what we've been up to since the last podcast, although a little bit different, I guess, because last podcast we had my wife and my brother. It was the family cast.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because you guys were gone to that con, and I thought it was a good time to bring Sierra on as a guest, and Brian was, another obvious choice as well. So they came over to the house, look for those videos online, and so let's start with George. What you've been up to since keep it short, but what have you been up to in the last month, essentially?
Yeah. I've played a lot of games over the last month. It's been good. I've been working a ton, but every Tuesday I try to get out and get to the game store. So I've actually played a whole lot of different games that I'm looking forward to talking about, in further episodes. But I've played all kinds of the Capcon stuff. And I've gotten a lot of games in that are Kickstarter games. They've started to show up. There's been a big pause on that for a long time, and now they're really starting to. We're hitting the season where they come in the mail, and so I've gotten a lot of rules read for some of those. Some of them I've actually even managed to get to the table. I'll be talking about a few of those. Other than that, it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of just getting through the school year, and I always tell myself, well, it's going to be easier this year. It's another year doing it again. It'll be so much easier. And there's always something that comes along that just throws a huge wrench in the works.
No, that's rough.
Yeah, and that happened this year as well. But yeah, I think I've gotten over the hump and gotten everything a little more settled down, and so I'm looking forward to the rest of the school year as well. But I don't have a whole lot going on necessarily.
Well, then I have a different question for you then.
Yeah.
What games have you used in your classroom? And for those who don't know, you're teaching sign language, American Sign Language, and you use these games to teach that stuff as well, right?
Yes. And okay, so I'll mention a few of my favorite ones. I love it when I find games that you have to be communicative during the game, right? And so a few of those that have been recent games, Link City is tremendous when we're talking about places around town. And this is a game where you have tiles that have all different places, cemeteries and hospitals and fire stations and, just any kind of place you'd find in a town. And you have to put them out in a map orthogonally onto the board. And the way that you do it, you connect trees together and that gives you points. That's really what you're doing. But in order to do it, one person is the mayor and they're deciding where the things actually are going to go in the town. And they put out these little traffic cones of different colors to show that. And then the players get to see what the 4 choices are and where the cones are. But they don't know which one corresponds to which. And the mayor just decides, right? And he does it behind a screen. And then all the players talk about it and they try to get into his head and decide, would he put the fire station next to the playground, or does it go over?
I just thought about that Napoleon Dynamite line. I'm not going to come up. It's like, what? Anyway.
Yeah. So there's
somebody just laughed out loud.
There's all kinds of reasons why you would not put something somewhere and put something else in favor of it. And the person who's the mayor has to justify their answers at the end, right? Because everyone's talked about this and said, well, no, this makes the most sense, obviously. And then depending on which ones you got right, then you get to put those out. And if you didn't get them right, then you have to put them off somewhere, catty corner that doesn't get you any points. It's just so good for the classroom, for the language classroom. Fantastic.
Let's go. The quote, I didn't look it up, but it basically is talking about the human anatomy. And he's like, why would they put a sewer treatment plant next to a playground?
Exactly. It's that kind of thing. Exactly. So that was really good. And another one, I think we've talked about it on here before, that I think is a tremendous game is Wilmot's Warehouse, where you're putting out all these little tiles and you tell stories about them as you do it to help you remember. And so you have to obviously use the language in order to tell the stories. It's so good. That one.
Do you actually have any deaf students in your classes?
I don't this year.
Okay, then this won't be as insensitive. So,
oh no,
you should bring Team 3 to your class.
Yeah, I have that one too. Okay, I know what you're going to say now, but go ahead.
But then they all have to do American Sign Language. I don't know if you know that one, James, but basically you have a team of 3, and then the person on your right can't see. Or something. The person to your left can't speak, but the person in the middle is kind of like playing the game of telephone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
so
then you
one
make
of the players
do it through American Sign Language, and it just makes no sense.
The player who can't see is going to be the one that is actually building the thing. So I make that the rule. So if you're the person who can't see, you have to actually put the pieces together, and then the person who is signing everything. Then the third person is watching that person and has to voice interpret to the person with the blindfold.
Oh, so I mean, here's the thing. I was trying to be silly, but you made it where it actually is a learning exercise because one person has to make sure they're doing the sign language correctly, and the other person has to make sure that you can read the sign language.
Right. And I make it where the way that they're standing, they can't see each other either. So the one that is watching the person and then saying in
like
English,
back turned and stuff.
Yeah, they don't get to see what the person is doing with the blocks, which can be very funny at times, actually. If they get it wrong. So
because then it's like revealing the you're pulling the curtain up and like reveal,
and it's so off. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So yes, that's another one. Any of those kinds of games where you're telling somebody how to build something is great for certain perspective exercises and giving directions kinds of exercises. So we do those. Any kind of storytelling. So Donkey Bridge is one of my all-time favorites. It's also called Esselsbruck in German. And that one is one where you tell stories and you have to tell them in the most impactful way that you can, because you're going to have cards that each piece you have to incorporate into the story, maybe 3 or 4 at a time. And so you tell your story with these 3 or 4 cards, and the next person goes and they tell theirs with another 3 or 4 or 5, the next person 3, 4, 5, next person 3, 4, 5. By the time it gets back to you and you've gone around the table twice doing this, it's 20 cards later. And now you take that first set of story cards, you shuffle them up and you pass them out to everybody. And they get 1 card, and that's the quote unquote donkey bridge that is supposed to like jumpstart your memory to remember what all the other cards in that particular story was. And so you look at your card.
I think you have talked about this game before.
Oh, it's one of my familiar. Absolute favorite ones. And for a language classroom, it's tremendous for storytelling.
Sweet.
Another good example for sure.
All right. Well, you got anything else? Or are we moving on to James?
I can do this all day. I got so many games in the classroom. We better move on to James.
We'll have a American Sign Language board game, not episode, but like topic, because I'm sure people would actually like to see that and be like, "What can I use?"
Yeah, we really should. That would be very helpful to people that are language teachers. I should do a workshop on this.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. I don't mean it in a mean way. It's more niche, but at the same time, if it's going to help people, why not?
Yeah.
All right, James, what you been up to other than the con?
Yeah, besides the con, I haven't really played much as I usually do because just been busy. My weekly meet group hasn't really met because everybody's been out of town, except for last night was the most recent one we've done in a while. And Crystal's been working on her Etsy shop, so we haven't been really get to play much. And you can't do that kind of stuff while I'm talking, Tim.
Sorry.
What was it?
I wasn't paying attention. I was like moving my tongue around, and
look up and
saw the nasty cut.
Yeah. But yeah, we got to play I got Crystal to play one of the games. I mistakenly thought it was a what do you call it? Trick taking game with dice that Tim, I think you went over on the review for Origins. Is
Mythology
Pina
dice.
Colada dice.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Until it came on BGA, and I was like, "This is not trick taking. This is kind of like Roll for It or in that type of games."
And in
So I was
the
like,
Origins preview, I said it's like roll for it.
"Oh, you did." Oh,
Yeah, you might just be
memory.
getting
Old man
confused.
memory.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of the mythology dice that he was
Getting
talking
Yes.
about.
confused. Where am I?
There
Who
was
am I?
another game that's the same publisher. It was
Yes.
Yellow. They came out with both those games at the same time.
Yeah, and I thought they were both similar games. I don't know why I thought this. So then when it came on BGA, I was like, "No, this is a game Crystal would like." So when I was at Capcon, I bought it, and yeah, she took
Oh,
a
cool.
picture of it for Facebook. That means it's a good game in her eyes. And when she posted on Facebook,
It is better with 3 and 4 players.
wow,
The reason I
Yeah.
say that is because in 2 players, well, one of the main mechanisms of the game is you got this 4x4 grid of cards, and as you roll your Yahtzee style, dice, and maybe you get a card out there that says 2 5s, or another card says A +1 +3 +3, which is basically a straight. Well, there's only one like spot to claim on each of the cards, but if you play it 3 and 4 players, you actually flip a lot of them over.
Right.
In 4 players, you flip them all over, and they on the other side they have 2 spots.
right,
And one of the main mechanisms is if you get 4 of these cards in a row, you instantly win. In a 2-player game, it's really easy to cut somebody off.
yes.
But it's like playing Ticket to Ride, but every lane is double lanes.
Except for if you can't roll the right combinations, and you can't cut her off, and she still wins 4 in a row.
Well, fair enough. But it's more entertaining with more people because, you have to work together and be like, all right, well, Eric's going to take this.
Yes.
2 of us got to stop that because I can go and put my token there, but somebody else has to.
Right.
A little bit more table talk.
And played Wormspan with the Dragon Academy expansion that just came out. And it's one of those good expansions where it adds a little bit, but not too much, not overwhelming, like a lot of just overhead. It's also an expansion I'm going to keep in when I play it. Because it added was added new dragons called fledglings. I don't know if you know Wormspan it's one of the in the Wingspan universe.
Yeah,
with dragons.
I'm not familiar with the expansion, but
The expansion you're just adding at the end of each when you pass, you pick a spot and you instead of just getting your normal 5 action coins, you can get 5 action coins plus maybe resources or more eggs or another dragon card at the end of the round. So it gives you that option to get more stuff at the end of the round. And it also has new dragons. They're called fledglings. And you train them so you learn how to train your dragon. And
I see what
Disney
you did
reference
there.
or whatever. Is it DreamWorks or Disney?
DreamWorks.
And and that allows you to do once you've trained them up, you can get in-round bonuses or in-game scoring. So it was actually a really nice little expansion and it's worthwhile in getting. I think it's only like $20. It's not a very big expansion. I mean, the box is a little bit. It's not a small little box, but because I think it has a new board that comes with it. And and Wormspan's always been my favorite of the 3 spans, even though I like all 3 of them really well. But I think
Now they need an
Wormspan,
expansion to add all 3 of them together.
Oh, God.
yeah,
Like Century Spice Road.
yeah. So we played that.
Span.
It was pretty good, and it, like I say, reminded me of Wormspan. How much I like it better than all 3 of them. I really like Wormspan. Then
My least favorite.
oh, it's the best. And then I bought a while back. I bought Suno Valo from Game Builders, and it's Capstone games too.
Yeah.
But it's a 2-player card drafting engine builder, and I thought it was Rival Cities that we had talked about. I don't know why I thought this when it came on sale, and I bought it. And when I got it, I was like, "This is not Rival Cities. This is not the one I'm thinking of." Because Rival Cities is a tug of war game, and so I was like, "Crap, I hope this is good." And then at the con, a friend of mine wanted to play this. We never got to, so I finally played. They had solo cards, but they don't have solo rules in the box. It's kind of weird. You have to download the rules from the website, but they had solo cards. So I played it solo, and it was really good. I really want to play it 2-player because it's 2-player game. I really want to play at that because there's some things I know would be better with the 2 players.
Now, are
But
these
it's
games
really-
that you played at Capcon, or is this?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
None of
you
these
got
are
those
Capcom.
separate. All right,
Right.
Yeah. Just
I
making
actually
sure.
did play a lot of Capstone games before the con too. So I think that's the main games I played this time around because we played Butterfly Garden. Me and Crystal and I did before I went. Didn't play it there. It's a fun little Suro Metro type game where you're laying down tracks and you're trying to move the butterflies into your garden to score.
It's a re-implementation of Indigo.
All right, I've never played that one. So.
Oh, I was going to buy that at half price one day.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I mean, it's a light little game. Then I listened to the podcast with you and Sierra and Brian.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his name wrong. And I just remembered Sierra was talking about how she liked deck builders. Have you all played Summer Camp?
We have not.
That is a good one. That's a light little deck builder. I know the theme's kind of weird. It's the Summer Camp theme, but you're playing. It's a deck builder, and you're playing cards to move your token on a track.
Do you get to kill
win.
people?
No, it's not. It's not an October game.
They needed a Halloween expansion.
No,
Camp Crystal Lake.
Each deck you can add in. There's a bunch of decks in little boxes, and they're based on summer camp activities. So you could do swimming deck and a canoeing deck and stuff like that, and it'll let you. I forget what the activities were off the top of my head, but I recommend that. I mean, it shouldn't be too expensive. It's not.
I do remember seeing it because it has like
when it came out, a lot of people liked it.
Artwork.
But is that a Target game? I think you used to be able to get it there.
Published by Target. Oh,
probably.
No,
it might
like
be a circle sticker game.
It's a
That's what I
Buffalo
call it.
Games game.
Yeah,
But I recommend it. You should be able to get it cheap. If you like, I mean, it's not a overcomplicated deck builder, but it's really fun. I heard so much about it, and is one of the times that I bought a game just because everybody's talked a lot about it, and then it kind of went away. Nobody talks about it anymore. But Crystal actually liked it. She's not a big deck builder person, but she liked it. So it's pretty fun. I highly recommend that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures. It looks pretty cool. I do remember seeing it strictly at Target multiple times. But I'll be honest, at one point I think I saw that it was Buffalo Games because I'm starting to remember. And that always is a turnoff to me because they just, I don't know. I mean, they have some really good ones now. I think they came out of the gate with a lot of weak, like mass market trash.
Agreed. They have cleaned up. They've gotten better. There's some of Buffalo games that I use in the classroom that are really good.
Nice.
I played another game, but I'm not going to I'll bring it up because I've also played it at Capcon. So we'll bring that up later.
Yeah.
That's all for me.
Cool.
Well, I'll run through my stuff real quick and then we'll get into the first topic. But I've been playing BGA. If you listen to the last episode, Sierra and I have been playing a lot of BGA recently. She gifted me the premium for our anniversary, which benefits her too, because now we can play from the same IP address.
And I'm also on there too,
Yes, I actually was going to message you today, but I actually got busy. I was working.
Just invite me. I'll accept. I always do.
No matter what it is.
Yeah, and if I don't know it, I'll just
City on the
fumble
big
my way
shoulders.
through it. Oh, no, maybe not that one.
I would like to play that again, but for real, outside of
me
BGA.
too.
Finally got to play Hardback, and I own it, which is weird that we played on BGA, but I was like, I'll just play it on here. She wasn't a big fan.
Really?
I actually liked it. I think I might like paperback more.
Okay.
But I like the combo stuff of Hardback, where if you get the same type of card, they kind of work off each other.
Yeah, and it's more forgiving. You can use the ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more forgiving in that way.
Been playing River Valley Glassworks. I haven't played it in person, so that's the first time I've played it. It's good. I mean, I don't think it's amazing. It's just real simple.
It is very simple. I've heard a lot of people say that it's just not lived up to the hype for them. It was marketed quite well, but I'm not sure that the game itself is that engaging.
Well, it's okay.
on BGA, you lose the tactile feeling of all the pretty pieces.
Yep.
And also, it's like so much quicker. I mean, you play the game in like 10 minutes with 2 players. It is so fast. And it's fine. But I'm like, dang, I don't know. We might actually pick it up. I mean, I think it's fun enough to own, but I think it might be, in my experience, a little bit overrated.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I own it and I think it's good. I have it to play with, my parents and lighter gamers and stuff like that. But yeah,
I don't know if it's rated that high though.
Fairly
so
light.
I don't know if it's overrated.
Oh, what is it? I'm just picturing it has a 7.2 or something.
I bet it's 6.5 or something like that. My guess.
It has a 7.3.
Oh. Maybe
if I'm going off of, it says best with 2 players, I'd agree with that. If I'm going based on, just knowing so many games on Board Game Geek, I would personally rate it more of like a 6.8. So it's not, I mean, it's good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's too short.
Your mileage may vary, I guess. Especially if you get the glass pieces or the really nice pieces. You're not just playing with 2D images. It doesn't amplify it a little bit. Like for me, Harmonies is a game that in person, the components really do help.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But I think it's the same game and really good on BGA. Whereas River Valley Glassworks, I feel like it would get amplified in person strictly because the components. And that's not necessarily a good thing, because as a game, you should have really awesome gameplay. It's really hard for me to say because I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's great. I think it's good. But moving on, we did play, we bought the Sandcastles in Burgundy. Man, it's so hard to talk. This is rough. The Sandcastles of Burgundy. It's right. It's a kid's version of Castles of Burgundy by Stefan Feld and I guess his wife, possibly. I don't want to say that. I don't know if it's his wife or his daughter or whoever, but it's good. I mean, I don't think it's not a great game, but it's really good if you're playing it with kids.
So that's what it looked like.
We play it with our 9-year-old, and you have this very loose mechanism from Castles where you're buying tokens, putting them on your board, and then you got to use another action to actually put them in the little buildings. But the difference is to buy them from the board, like in Castles, you have those 6 different wells of different pieces you can buy. Picture that, except for each one's a sandcastle and you don't know what's in it. So you have to pick up the sandcastle and look and kind of memorize where stuff is. And stuff gets shifted around. So, I'm going to look under this sandcastle because I need another blue. Oh, crap. It's not there anymore because somebody took it and I wasn't paying attention or enough to remember. So it's got like a little bit of a memory aspect, which is fine for a kid's game. There's an advanced mode, which adds a little bit more. And then this expansion would add kind of like little powers. Even with all that, I kind of wish it had one more level of expansion, so to speak, so that you can kind of ramp them into a Castles of Burgundy game.
Right. That would make sense.
Yeah, but it's okay. We played a new edition of Lifeboats. Pretty sure out of the 7 people, Eric and I were the only 2 that still liked it. And even then we were like, yeah, I don't know about it. It's fun.
Huh. Which Lifeboats is it? Is it the one where you have a love and a hate and you're trying to get to land? Or is it the one where you're all in boats trying to get across the board?
That one. The one you're talking about is just Lifeboat.
Okay, gotcha.
This one's Lifeboats with an S. It's the new one's called Plank of Carnades or something.
Oh.
I do not recommend 7 players. The game was only an hour and a half and it felt like 74 hours. Because you're like, all right, time to vote. All right, time to vote. All right, time to vote.
Mean.
Let's keep voting. You know what we should do with this action is vote. Let's vote again. It should be called Life Votes. I don't mind voting, but oh my God.
Yeah. And you're voting to throw people off the boat. Like it's just a mean game.
Oh, it's awesome. But it overstays its welcome with 7. I think if you're playing with like 5 players, you play with less boats. And they added a new part to the game. At least it's different than what I remember. Normally you only do one leak in a boat that springs up. But this one is if a boat moved and the boat had a leak, you actually put 2 of the leaks out next round. So like it kind of makes the game a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Which is welcomed. But with 7 people, you got 8 boats out there and it just takes forever. So probably a better 5, maybe even a 4-player game. I think 5 would be a really sweet spot.
For some reason, that facade game, the one where you got the plague and
Bristol.
little wagons, and you're trying to get up in the wagons and kick people out. That's what made me think of that for some reason.
Yeah, I like that game a lot better.
Yes,
I like Bristol better than Lifeboats.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, that's
Bristol.
a good one,
Yeah, that's what it was.
But Lifeboats came out in the 90s. So, I mean, it has at least stood the testament of time to some degree.
Yeah.
It's a really good party-ish style game. We also played, because we had 7 people, we played Steampunk Rally again. And it just made me, it just made me be like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have bought Fusion. So I did.
Oh yeah.
Somebody on eBay had the Atomic Edition, which is both of them in one box with all the upgrades and stuff. $30. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I've kickstarted that and I have that and I still haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I really want to. Now that you've mentioned it, I really want to.
And I spoke about this game last podcast, I think. It's called, my wife and I played it on BGA. It's called Couple, like Coupell. And I'm bringing it up specifically because I know George would really enjoy this because he likes word games, right?
Yes.
And so what you do is you have, on your turn, you draw cards or whatever, and all the cards are face up on the table. You have to spell a word going left to right, and you can't skip anything.
Okay.
But you can't move your cards around. Your actions can move your opponent's, or not your partner's cards around. It's like, I need you to move this A over a couple so I can, and then you can give the other player cards, but you can't take any. And so you can give your opponent an A and slot it anywhere you want into their tableau of cards.
Right.
And when you play a card or a word on your turn as an action, and you only get like 2 actions, I think, each round. So you get 2, I get 2, and we keep going back and forth.
Okay.
Keep playing until the deck's empty. And on your turn, if you spell a word, you get points -3. So you really want to spell 4-letter words or higher.
Yeah. Okay.
4-letter
Okay.
words.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
I like games that make you spell longer words.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So you get points, right? Typically you're spelling like a 4 or 5 word, letter word.
Sure.
And that's only like 1 or 2 points. By the end of the game, you have to have 13, I think, to even win. I can't remember. It's really hard to do. Or 13 is like the lowest on the, or maybe it's the highest. I don't remember. You're trying, but what makes it even worse is both players have to have the exact same score to win. So if we end the game and I have 8 and you have a 7, we lose. It has some really bad reviews, I think, but I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine for PGA. I would recommend it.
How do you spell it again?
It's Coupell. Couple.
They can't even spell their own spelling game.
I don't even know what the word means. All right, I kind of took us over time on being on schedule here. So we're going to run into our first topic. And our first topic on this podcast is going to be James and George sharing their experiences at the first ever Capstone Games convention, Capcon 25. Or like James's shirt says, Capcon 25. I'm going to say 2025 because this is not the 25th. This is the first. Yeah, we're going to start with James, kind of go over your experience with it, some of the games you played and stuff, and then we'll move on to George, and I'll ask a bunch of random questions here and there.
I'll quickly preference this with, I got an email in February saying they're going to do this, only 100 people. So I was like, I better that sounds cool. I'll sign up for it. Then months and months went by and nothing from it. And I'm like, was I scammed? Because on tabletop events, nothing changed. No events were added, nothing. Then people at our local con, friends of ours, Jason and some other people, said, "Yeah, we're going to that." So that made me feel better because I knew maybe some other either people got scammed or I was going to know friends, the people there.
We'd be scammed together.
Yeah, that got pushed to the side eventually when they sent out started sending out emails on it. I think they were getting prepared for Origins and Gen Con, so they weren't really focusing too much. But I was still kind of worried about what was going to happen because it just didn't seem like I didn't know if they knew what they're going to be doing and stuff. So I was a little worried, and I mean, and also I've talked glowingly about Origins, and spoiler, I'm going to talk glowingly about this one because it is amazing con. It exceeded all my expectations.
Was it really only 100 people?
Yes.
Yes, it really was.
It's just in their storefront and their warehouse is where they set up the tables.
Yeah,
and they had all these
much room.
All these sales items like you'd see it like Gen Con Origins, but in big bins and great sale prices. And there were so many I knew I could wait till Sunday to get them because they weren't going to sell out. There's only 100 of us. It was the best way to describe it is the people there. It was a gamers con, meaning people were always amazed when they were teaching a game that everybody caught on so quickly because we had been playing, we knew all the mechanisms from other games. We were gamers. We played them.
Yeah.
So it made it so much more fun. I mean, everybody was so fun, so nice. I met awesome people, and even the people putting it on were nice, unlike some other local cons that I go to. And they're just, I mean, I can sit here and talk all day about how great it was. Every con, I always have one bad experience. And usually it's because I'm a grumpy old man. But I have where I get angry.
Yelling at clouds.
Yeah, I just expect it. But this one had zero of that. I had no bad experience. I mean, only bad experience is there's 2 bathrooms. There's 100 of us and we're drinking sodas all day and water. So, but that's not really a bad experience. But it was just really good. I got there. George wasn't there first on Friday. I got there a little later, but they gave you
I was late every
swag
day.
bag. And the funny thing is they gave us Up or Down, which I had just bought a week before that. Which is a great game. Great game. I love it.
It is a great game.
Crystal and I played it at 2 players, and then we played it there at 4 players, which is it's just as good. I thought it was going to be like a runaway leader, but at the end of that 4-player game, we were very close, like within 3 points of each other, 4 of us. So it was pretty fun. And I mean, that's a great game. Now I have a Christmas gift for somebody, which is awesome. I mean, I'm grateful. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out where I approach this. Let's see.
While you're thinking, let me just say that I wouldn't have made it into that con if it wasn't for James, because they really did keep it to 100 people and I didn't have a ticket. So I was so bummed because that's basically my local con. Like, I'm right there. Felt like I really wanted to go and I wasn't able to get a ticket. And James had a friend who had another family member who wasn't going to attend, and they were able to transfer their ticket to me. So thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a story of blackmail and deception, but
no. What it was is I have a friend that's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's actually part of the I Heart Board Games group. Jesse and Melissa, I don't know if you know them. They have a video podcast now. He's not on it, but he's friends with them. They play games and stuff, all that. So, for long story short, I play BGA games with him all the time and a bunch of those people down in Baton Rouge. And so he said he was coming up, and his wife just gave birth at the beginning of the year. So I guess she was like, I'm not going up to Cincinnati. So that's where that ticket came from. He had, I guess, bought 2 tickets, one for her because she games too, and she just decided not to come up here, which I don't blame her with a newborn. And so he's big bourbon whiskey guy. So he actually flew into Louisville and ran around some of those the night before, then drove up to Cincinnati. And did you meet him, George? Wes was
just very briefly.
Yeah. And
Our gaming groups did not coincide very much.
not
Funny
at all.
enough,
That was the weird
fact that
thing.
you were able to get me in there, and here we are together at a con. Never played a game together because our timing just never worked out.
But you said that, and that's not true because we did try to learn pagan together.
Well, we tried.
We didn't because I had Angel Share coming up, so I had to step away because they had pagan all their stuff for 40% off. It was a heck of a deal, but I'm like, I don't know if I'll like this game. It's a 2-player hidden role deduction game. And so I played 13 games and 15 plays. So
wait. What's Angel Share?
Angel Share is a economic game about whiskey.
By
And
Scott
I was
Alm.
disappointed because we played 5 players, and the 5-player board was Scotland, and the flip over the 2-player board was Kentucky. I was like, dang it! So we didn't get to play Kentucky board.
I did not know that. When I played it, it was just the Scotland board.
Yeah, you had to play more than 2 then. There's 2 or 3. I forget what he said was on the other side because I was like, why in this Kentucky? He's like, well, that's the 2-player side.
Funny. Yeah, we played with 5 as well.
The way you said it, I thought it was like, it's almost like an Uber or something. I don't know.
No, Angel Share. That's whiskey, bourbon term.
I got you.
Devil's Cut and Angel Share.
Okay.
I can't exactly. I think it's like the evaporation during this distillation process. The stuff that evaporates is the Angel Share.
Yeah, upcoming Capstone game by Scott Alms.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we did play a lot of upcoming games. I mean, there's some I missed, and I wish I got to play. But
Tiny Epic Bourbon.
no, it's economics straight up, and that's one of the ones I was like, I need to go out of my comfort zone. The economic games didn't seem fun to me, so I was like, but I'll try this one. And our friend Jason was there, and Mariah, she was playing it. There was 5 of us, and it was really good and better than I expected to be. I didn't win it, but most of my story, my games were I always came in second place.
Well, I only said the Tiny Epic thing because he made all the Tiny Epic games.
Yeah,
Right.
and he probably still is making those. Yeah.
Although that would be funny. Tiny Epic Bourbon, Tiny Epic Distillery.
You're more or less just trying to manipulate the market in the whiskey realm on that one. It's actually good though. I recommend trying to play it. I don't know if I had to buy it myself.
It surprised me too, and I'm not an economic game person.
Right.
So yeah, I agree.
Got played Toy Battle, which it's a 1v1 battle game, and it's really fun. It sounds, it's with toys, but it's not really a kiddie game. It's a medium weight game, 2-player only, and Jason and I played it, and it was just that's the one I played 3 times. That's why I have 15 plays in 13 games because it's a real quick little battle game. It was pretty fun. Whenever that comes available, I'll probably buy that. I don't know who that's by. It's not a Capstone game.
Kind of looks like not Clash of Clans, but they made another game called Clash Arena or something where you have like 2 lanes that you're summoning guys up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
that's exactly what you're doing.
One of those video games where you have to go.
Mobile game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're trying to make a line from your castle to the other person's castle, and that's how you win, or get enough stars to win. I mean, it's actually fun. It's a light little game. I highly recommend it. It's on BGA.
Oh, all right.
That's where I first played it. It's pretty fun. We can play that if you want.
Sure.
I got to play Revive, which is not a Capstone game. It was pretty fun. It's off my shelf of shame. That was a pretty good one. It's on BGA also, but it's a lot more fun in person. I
love that game.
Yeah, Revive is fun.
I have the expansion. I just have not played it.
And another little surprise was Empire's End. That's the first game I played there. It's from the library. It's one of those ones where you're trying to keep your empire. Well, your empire's ending, so half of your empire at the end of the game is going to be in flames. But it's a little card game. I saw it. My friends played it last year at Origins, and I was like, I don't know about this game, but it was actually pretty fun. It's a fun little game. Got to try Lightning Train, which was the highlight of Gen Con, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys try that.
My friends kept calling it pick up deliver. I call it more of a route building deliver because you're building the train routes and you're trying to get where your train routes get hit the most by the delivery. So you deliver a cube all the way down the routes and you're trying to get yours to get hit the most because you get more points that way. That's pretty much the whole game.
Yeah. And how did you like that one? That one's gotten a lot of buzz.
It was kind of mediocre to me.
Okay.
Everybody else loved it, but I was like, this is okay. It gave me too many vibes of Brass Birmingham, and unpopular opinion, I do not really care for Brass Birmingham that much.
Okay.
But it was okay. It was fun. I'd play it again, but I wouldn't own it. But everybody else loved it in the world, it seems like, so don't take my opinion on that. Got to play Savannah Park, which is a little tile, more of a kid game to me, kid weight game where you're trying to move your animals to group them together to score. And what it is, each player in turn says this tile is moving now, and you move it somewhere and you flip it over showing that it's been moved. So once you move it, you can't move it anymore. So, and the game ends when all the tiles have been moved. So you just go around the board and everybody says, well, the 2 giraffes move this time. And it'll be randomly. Each board is different. So everybody's going to have a random board of the animals. It's all the same tiles, but they're randomly placed.
Gotcha.
So it was fun. Crystal might like it, but she'd yell at me the whole time, so I didn't get it because it'd be stressful. And I'll say another economic game I played was Irish Gauge, which is not usually my style of game, but I really enjoyed it.
I played that.
Yeah, it's
I
on
played it
BJ
there
also, but our friend Jason has been trying to get me to play those type games, and he saw me playing it on BJ because somebody invited me and I accepted. And so we played it there, and we were wanting to play one of the other Gauge games. Jason kept calling him something else. I keep forgetting what he said, but I didn't win that. But what was more fun was Jason kept saying my strategy was terrible, and I ended up getting second in that game. So I said I think my strategy was pretty good in that game.
Your usual second.
Yeah. Yes. Now, the only bummer of the whole thing is my biggest disappointing game, and that's Venos. And it's kind of a bummer because for 3 years I've been bugging Jason to play it. I was like, because I love Lacerda games, and everybody's talking about how great this game. Even Jason's like, "Oh, this is a great game," and we played it. And it might have been because night before we were up till like 3:30 or 4 playing Lightning Train, so I was just zombified Saturday morning and afternoon. So until I got like a bunch of caffeine in me, and I don't know, it just didn't click with me. I felt like it was parts of it were broken. Once you got a runway leader, there's a runaway leader part and like the fairgrounds part, and it felt too economically for me. I don't know. There was just something that missed with me, and I felt bad because you could see it in Jason's eyes. He knew he was like disappointed that I didn't like it. Yeah. You know how you're like, oh, let's play this game. It's your game that you brought, and nobody likes it. And you're like, oh crap. Everybody else there, we played 4 players. Everybody else liked it. I just didn't. But I felt bad because I'd been bugging him for 3 years to play this game, and but I was very happy to play it though. I really wanted. It was on my to play list. I got a bunch of Lacerdas I need to play, and that was one of them. So I was very happy to have played it. I was just very disappointed in it.
The newest Lacerda several times already. I've seen Speakeasy getting played, and
that's coming in tomorrow for me.
Aha.
I didn't know that he designed CO2. I just looked up his list. And I have that. I'm like, man, now I might rise that to the top. Try it out.
Yeah, you should try it.
Speaking of, I did bring Cascadero, one of the mini games, but this is the only one I played, or that I brought, that I played. And I had the opposite thing. 2 people we brought in as Jason and 2 other guys, or 2 other people, and they ended up talking about that was their favorite, one of the top favorite games of the con, so I was happy about that. Cascadero, it's a pretty good little, you're like best way to put it, route building game, and you're trying to go up tracks, and to win you have to go the top of your colored track, and then if the game ends and you're the only one at the top of your colored track, you automatically win. But if there's multiple people, it's whoever has the highest score of those people. So that one had a runaway leader, so I just wanted to get to the top of my track and feel accomplished. I was just like, I'm going to get to the top of once I get to my color, I feel like I accomplished something. But it's actually a really fun game.
It is so good. I've played that one recently, and I really enjoyed it as well. And it doesn't seem like the kind that I would. That was another big surprise for me. And now I've seen they have a roll and write of the same game.
Yes, Cascadito, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And I learned that Cascadero, the reason they call it because you're cascading your moves. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just some city in Spain or something. And
I thought it was the dude on the cover.
no, so then I tried to get them to say Cascadero every time they started chaining actions. They didn't do it. I failed in that.
You can only try.
So then the top two games, one I'll be talking about later that I played at that, spoiler. And the other one is Raising Chicago. Get my video right. This one right here. This was on my list for Origins, I think.
It was.
Yeah, and I didn't get to play it and try it in Origins. And for some reason, and this is another one I'm mistaken, I thought it was a big economic game. It is nothing. It is not an economic game at all. It is a bidding game, but it's the bidding. You're bidding on buildings to build with you get a certain number of tiles each round. And that will be the size of your building. Whatever you win, the building you win, how many tiles you have on that card, that's how big your building is. And it's an area control game. After you win the bid, you're building these buildings in Chicago because you're raising the buildings, not building, I'm sorry. You're raising the buildings with your blocks from the mud and water. And it's an area control. Then you have 4 different areas you're trying to have the most control in to score the points at the end of the game. And it's one of those bidding games, which I don't normally like, but it's one of those ones where if you lose the bid, you're going to want to lose the bids on some of them just so you can get those bidding tiles from the next round.
Yep.
But also you get resources from those bidding. Every time you place a bid, you get whatever resources below that square. So you're always getting something, even if you lose. And so it's pretty fun. So a lot of times you find yourself near the end of the game like, I want that resource, but I don't want to win that building. So you're sweating it out because you're like, okay, you need to outbid me on this building. So it was really fun. I mean, we had a really good time with that one. And as you see, I bought it. So that's how much I liked it. It was on sale there.
Nice.
So it was, I highly recommend that. And like I said, I went away really happy. I went into it thinking I'm probably just going to go to this one and that's it for Capcon, not go again, depending on, just because it's in Cincinnati and blah, 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 and all that. But coming home, I'm like, I'm definitely going to sign up for next year. And Tim and Sierra, you need to come.
Oh, yeah. Well, the babysitter is the only problem.
And I will sign up.
But next year he'll be like
sure.
3.5, so it might be a little bit different.
Yeah. But I mean, it is well worth it. It is amazing con. We just had a good time. They had giveaways, which I didn't win any. Oh, but I don't know if I should be saying this, but I was up there seeing what they were giving away, and they had the horse for the Ready Set Bet game they had on Kickstarter, the big version. Well, I missed it, and a lot of people did. You had to do something like with Facebook, and you get the extra horse, this like special number 7 horse, and I'd missed it. I was like, crap. It's like hopefully because I'm kind of a completionist, so it's like in the foam insert, it's got this big hole missing where this horse is supposed to go, and it's bugging me every time I see it. So I'm looking at all the giveaways as 2 people had just won. And then I saw it, and there's the horse. I was getting all excited. I was like, do y'all have that for sale here? Because, I didn't want to, or if I won the drawing, they had drawings all the time. So
yeah,
I ended up not winning any of them. But
they had like a big palette of games they were giving out. Yeah.
I was like, I'll grab that one. If I was thinking that, and the guy's like, if those 2 don't get it, take that, you can have it. So I ended up with my horse. I was because I guess he thought no one else is going to get that excited about that wooden horse for Ready Set Bet. So now my set is complete, and I'm very happy.
There you go.
Yeah, I highly recommend Capcon if you can make it. I'm assuming it's probably going to, if they do it again, it'll just be 100 people because there's not much more room they can have in that area, the warehouse.
Outdoor event.
But it was an excellent time. 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. I'll pass it over to George now.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I had a wonderful time. Again, thank you for getting me in there. It's my local con, so I knew a lot of the people there, and they are all really nice, like you said. I should have worn my Capcon shirt. Didn't think of it for the podcast, but they gave us a shirt and they gave us the Up or Down game, which was great. And then, like you said, they had all of these deals on the games that they make since it's Capstone games. So
I missed out
so many
on the deals.
I mean, some of them were just really marked down. I picked up a copy of Rorschach, which is like a word game, and it was $5. So it was that kind of level of deals going on. And then they had all these games that they were giving away on the hour, I think, usually. And I didn't win anything either. So you get to look at your ticket every hour and it's like, oh, nope, once again. Yep. But that's okay. They had, I know at one point, a guy that I know, Chris, he won and he picked out the entire set of Clinic, like the base game, all the expansions. Awesome. I mean, that's I don't even know how. That's like over $100, like easy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They had it on sale for $100 for everything, but I was like, I don't know if this is a great deal, but I don't know if I'd play it, so I didn't pick it up.
Yeah, it's not a game for me. It's heavy and I don't know, very solo, I think, but yeah. But it was a great deal anyway, and so they had that going on during the weekend, and the people that go there, like you said, they're all gamers. And not only that, they're usually heavier gamers because a lot of those games that Capstone sort of specializes in, they're pretty heavy a lot of the time, like Clinic and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of gaming experience. I had a great time. I'll go through some of the games that I played while I was there. None of them with James. We tried to learn Pagan, and the amount of time that we had before your ticketed event, so you had to go.
Right.
We're not the fastest at learning rules to games. So it didn't work out.
That was kind of confusing. I don't know. It was a little.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that one.
A big setup for that game.
We need someone to teach us that explicitly. Yeah. If you can, let's see. I need to share my screen here.
And our times never matched up, our free times. When I saw you walking around, I was playing, and when I was walking around, you were playing.
Exactly, yeah. Let me see if I can share my screen. Is that not it? That's not it.
No, that worked. Firefighters on duty.
Oh, okay. You've got it. Good.
Is it a game about firefighters using the restroom?
It's a game about firefighters desperately trying to do their job and mostly failing, because this is a Artipia game, which is real time. And I just got this in as a Kickstarter. So I brought this to the con, and I was able to get it played. I played it with Jason and Darren from Dirtle Games. They are the guys that they've done Unmatched, Tales to Amaze, and they have a new one upcoming that is a great trick-taking game called Rowdy Partners, and that was one of the hot upcoming games that was featured at the convention. We played this one, and I had played it once before with a guy named Derek, who's like really experienced gamer, and we tried our best and we got demolished by this game. And I thought, okay, that's what's going to happen again. And no, we actually pulled it off by the skin of our teeth, but you have to roll dice frantically, kind of like Escape from the Temple, and that sort of situation. And this is a re-implementation of Project Elite, but with a firefighting theme. And so you're rushing around trying to put these fires out. Great game. Really enjoyed that one. Another game that I played is called Love Conquers All. This is Guerrilla Games and Jeff Siadek. He did the lifeboat game that was mentioned earlier, just the single lifeboat. Anyway, this is one that he's recently done, and it's a game where you have these tiles that you're trying to put on this little board, and you're doing it cooperatively. So everyone has these cards, and you pick a card, and that card tells you which of these tiles you have to put out. But every one of these cards also gives you a rule that you have to follow. If that tile is in play, and it really messes you up. The theme is these are things that you're bringing to the relationship. So, you've got this relationship, but then this one guy is greedy, or, somebody else is depressed, or there's an abusive situation. Like, there's all kinds of bad stuff. And love conquers all, because if you can play a tile that is a love tile, any tile that it touches gets flipped over and is no longer in play, and you get rid of those cards and their effects. And so you have to do that, and you have to do it really strategically, trying to get all the tiles out on the board, and it's so tough to win. Great cooperative game. Forestry is a game that I played again there at Capstone. This is one of their upcoming games that I'm a big fan of, and it's by Michael Peckle, and it's heavy, but the theme is so consistent and strong through this one that it's a heavy game that I really enjoy. And it also helps that I've won it each time that I've played. But it's maybe, honestly, maybe so.
I like the little silk screen excavators or whatever those are.
Yeah, these little tree cutter guys. I don't know what they're called either, but which is funny. I should know, because as I was playing the game, everybody was saying, okay, I'm going to get this green and I'm going to get this purple. And I'm like, no, that's a birch. That's a spruce. I was like, I was making them say the names of the trees. It didn't really catch on. But it's a great game. And my family in Ireland has a forestry. They have an area of land that is trees that is, there to be cut down eventually. And so it's just kind of cool for me to think about. I played Vampire Queen, which is a little card game where it's a shedding game. You're trying to get rid of your cards, and you can play sets. And that's really all there is to say, other than the art's pretty good. And I got to play Spicy again. Spicy is a card game where you are putting out a card face down and saying what it is. And just like the game Bullshit, then the next person can either say, oh, that's bullshit, or anybody can say it, or you can just keep playing and the next person puts down a card. But in this case, when you do it, you have to say what exactly is bullshit. Is it the suit of the card, or is it the number?
You just keep saying it.
We're going for that family rating. I love it.
That's the name of the game.
You're fine. You're fine. I don't care either way.
Okay. But this game is spicy, and it is spicy. It's a great game. It's I really enjoy this one.
We actually played that on tabletop, the three of us, maybe with Eric.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah. It's a fun one. The problem with the game is that this blue suited suit is pepper. It's blue pepper, and then you also have these red, what you and I would look at and say, those are peppers. But no, if you're playing the game, call them chili, because otherwise you'll just get
chili
confused.
pepper.
Yeah. So you can't just have pepper for everything. Anyway, great game. More card games. I played one that was new to me called Nana Toridori. And this is a game where you're playing bird cards. I'm really not sure why. I'm not sure what the theme is exactly, but when you play cards again, you can play sets of cards. And if you play like 2 5s, the value is 55. If you play 3 6s together, then it's 666. And you have to play more than what was played before.
That's pretty metal.
I don't even know why they bother. Why do they bother making that explicit? Because, yeah, if you play 3 5s, that's going to be more than 3 4s. Or
yeah.
2 4s.
Clearly.
Anyway. But yeah, that was important, I guess, at some point. And you're trying to get rid of your cards. So that one is a pretty good game. It was one that I thought my parents could play and would enjoy.
Hey, I'm gonna pause you for a second. I've been playing board games for like 20 years. I mean, I've been playing board games all my life, but like as far as these type of board games, and I look up so many board games. I read about so many board games. I watch podcast or videos and listen to podcasts. I know a lot of board games, but I swear every single time we do a podcast with George on these top 10 lists and stuff, It's like, where the crap is all this stuff from? Like, where does it? How do I've never heard of some of these games. It makes
this one is specifically from Japan. The designer is Toshiki Arao.
I mean, maybe in this instance, I get it, but I mean, it happens every single. You're like, here's something coming out Origins. It's like, I swear I've read the same list of games. Anyway,
the ones
going.
that strike my interest are usually the weird ones. Yeah, you're right.
And I almost said in my description of the con that there were no like card game people, but I guess I was wrong on that.
You're so wrong. So, okay. There's so many card games that I play at cons. I don't know why. I play The Gang. That's one that you know. I'm sure it's a poker kind of. It's like a poker game. It's like a variant of poker. But the thing is, you're playing poker hands. You get 2 cards that are your pocket cards, and then you gradually show what's in the river. And every round, you have to take a token that says where you think you rank out of all the players. Do you have the best hand? Do you have the weakest hand? Are you somewhere in the middle? Like, right? And at the end, at the very last, you have to have it all right or you don't win. And this is a game where knowledge of poker like messes you up because it's not like poker. You're not playing probability. Like, do you have a chance at getting these cards? No, it's what cards do you have, right? So if you have a pair, you're probably beating most of the people, right? Like, I don't know, it's just funny. The way that it works out is people play probability and it never works out. You don't get the card that you want. And you've just confused people because early in the round, you're like, oh, I've got a great hand. No, you had nothing. You just thought you were going to get a flush. So yeah, it's interesting. It's a good one. Okay, another card game that is one that you probably haven't heard of and is really, really good. I can't say enough about this one. It's by Peter Jurgensen. It's a designer from the Netherlands, I think. Anyway, this is a game where it's called The Brain. And so I guess the conceit is collectively you're trying to be a brain that's like working together because collectively you're trying to win the game. And you play out cards into the center of the table, and you can remove them if the card is one that allows you to remove certain cards. There's 6 kinds of cards. There are 6 actions that you can do, and there are 6 colors. So, for example, you'd have a card with a frog on it, and that has a green color on it, and it's a yellow background card. But the green square on the card means if you play this frog, you get to take away all the green cards that are out on the table. Or there might be another card that is a zombie and it's on a red background, but it's got a little symbol that says, if you play this red zombie, you get to take away all the frog cards on the table, right? Things like that. And you have to be very clever about how you play this out in order to never go over the maximum limit of cards that you can have on the table, because if you do, you lose. So you're always trying to remove these cards the best that you can in clever ways, trying to set each other up to do that and not fall behind the curve and then end up having too many cards and losing the game. It's really good. The Brain. And then, okay, this is one that I have loved this game for the longest time. Let me see when it came out. It was it's right
2009.
2009, okay. And it's by Vlada Chvátil, called Bunny Bunny Moose Moose. And it's a con game for me. Like, I love playing it at cons, and we played it. And the next day, this guy came up to me and said, I can't tell you how happy I am to see somebody playing that game at a con. And it was because this game is so unusual. It's so silly. What you do...
Well, the lady in that picture is kind of upset that she learned that some guy is a sourpuss.
Exactly. That's right. You can't be a sourpuss and play this game. Like, this is the silliest game you've ever played, but it's hilarious.
Is this the one I walked up on and some guy was asking about when he should stick out his tongue?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was confused.
So now, Tim, you could play this one now you've had your tongue surgery.
I can.
In the game, you have these cards that you're putting out, and the cards are going to say you get +1 point or +2 or -2 or -1, whatever. It's all this math, depending on whether you do certain things with your hands or your tongue. And what you do with your hands is you indicate that you're a bunny by making bunny ears, or you're a moose by making moose antlers. And there's different kinds, there's different shapes. And depending on which ones you do, different pluses or minuses will be happening. But as the game is going on, these cards keep getting placed out 6 at a time, and they get placed one over the next. So it keeps changing the math. And you have to do this mental math very fast, decide what to do with your hands, and change it every time. So, it's ridiculous to watch people doing this, right? And the person who's laying out the cards is saying a poem as you're laying the cards out. And it follows a very specific cadence, and you lay out the card at the specific point in the poem at every time. And it goes, listen, do you hear someone? 'Tis the hunter with his gun. Do not panic, do not cry, lest you catch the hunter's eye. If you calm and clever stay, you may quickly sneak away. Right? That's the poem. And you're laying down a card at the end of every line. But at any time, if you're laying that card down, the first part of the line, the person looks at the card. And during the second part of the line, you lay the card down. But if it's a hunting card, if it's a hunter, then instead of saying the rest of the line, as you lay the card down, you just go, bam! And it scares everyone every time. It's hilarious. But when you say bam and you smack the table, that everyone has to freeze in whatever position they were in. If their tongue's out, if their tongue's in, if their hands are curled, if their hands are up or down, and then they're all frozen. You go through and you give them their points based on how their position currently is in relation to all the cards.
What about that guy smelling his finger?
He's a
What's
bush.
he scoring?
He's a bush. If you're doing some illegal move, you turn into a bush and you get 0 points.
Oh.
But it's hysterical, this game. Bunny Bunny Moose Moose. I love it. Okay. On other games that are hysterical, and to me anyway, is the game Them's Fightin' Words. And this is a deck of cards, and the cards all have just old-timey Western things on them. And so there's a bunch of characters, and then there's a whole bunch of Western insults. And so as you play the game, you're putting out a card on top of a stack of insults. And then it ends with who you're talking to. So you're like, you yellow-bellied varmint. And then you play another card, and you have to remember what was there before and keep going. Like, you yellow-bellied, lily-livered varmint. And it just keeps like going and going as it goes around the table. And if you forget and you can't say the whole thing, then you have to take the whole stack. It's hysterical. It's so good. And it's out of hand.
I've read this book to my kids a lot. It's called The Wonky Donkey.
Yeah.
And it does exactly this. It's like, he was a lazy wonky donkey. And then he was like, he was a winky dinky wonky donkey. And it's like, you just keep adding on to it over and over and over.
You like mamby-pamby ornery donkey. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm prepped for this game.
Yeah, you would do great. It's so much fun. I love it. So, but unfortunately, you can't get it anymore. You can get a different version, though, which isn't Them's Fightin' Words, but it's a version where you're doing scat, where you're doing musical sounds. So you're like, skibbity, skibbity doo, skibbity doo bop. And, it just goes on and on. It's hilarious.
Did they make the corn version? You
should make that. I would play it.
Real quick, I just noticed it scrolls over. How many more games you got on this?
Oh, yeah. So 1, 2,
just
3.
For essence of time.
Yeah, I got like 6 more. I'll go quick.
All right, burn them.
All right. Super quick one. Silly. Kablab. You have to roll dice, and then you have to say that number of things in a category, right, before the bomb goes off. And that's just a word association game. And then This one was really good. I'm going to pick this one up if I can find it. Yokai Pagoda, another card game.
I like the art.
Really pretty art. Yeah, I like the art too. It's a great game. I can't remember how it plays now, but I remember playing it and really liking it.
You played Aquaria.
Aquaria, yeah. Well, no, but I learned the rules and played through like a couple rounds. It was like a demo thing, right? But Aquaria is by Tomasz Holek, who also did Forestry. So I'm really interested in this one. And God, he's done everything like SETI and all these others, right? He's just on fire right now. But this one is the 60s aquarium craze. The cover of the book, the cover of the box is kind of terrible, but it's like a 60s commercial. That's why. And in this game, you are trying to set up your aquarium, and you have all these dials that control the microbiome of your aquarium, right? But you have to put cards out on this grid, and where you put the card will tell you which dials you can turn. And they have to be at certain levels at different times to get, effects. That's so intriguing as a puzzle. And then, of course, you're collecting sets of fish, and they let you do things. You have to feed them every turn. And the way that this central mechanism works is you put out a die into one of these spots, and you just count up the die as you move it around. The numbers don't really do anything except tell everyone what turn you're on, but you have to move it to an adjacent section in the middle, and then they're almost like dials as well. The bonuses that you get kind of tick around as people do them. It's really, really interesting. And this is a research board in the middle where you're going up essentially these weirdly curved tracks.
It looks pretty cool.
I'm excited.
This was the talk of the con. Everybody was talking about. Yeah. I didn't get a chance. I had a chance to play it, but I had a scheduled event, so I didn't get to play it with a few friends of mine that were playing it. So
yeah, I didn't get to play it either, but just going through it just enough, even a little bit, I am so excited about that one. Next, I have 7 Prophecies, which is another Japanese card game, and like you were saying, where you just sort of mentioned it, and then you were given that horse. For the I can't remember what game, Ready, Set, Bet. This one, I walked up and said, "Hey, that's really great art. I like the art." And you can't tell from these images because it's a different set of cards, but it wasn't obviously not these. Yeah. There's no art on these cards at all. But the one that I was looking at had really cool, like weird Japanese witch art, and I was like, "Oh, that art is fantastic." And Chris said, "Well, would you like it? Because we're changing the art. When they make the game, they have a different set of art, and they're not going to use the art that I really liked." He's like, "Would you like this copy?" Just, gave me the game. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, but really, really clever trick-taking game where each one of these cards that's placed out at the beginning is what's going to be the trump for that particular round. So you know what's going to be played. And then you have your hand of cards, and you are, before the game starts, you're saying how many first place you're going to get, how many second, how many third, how many fourth. And you see everyone do that, and then you can really mess with them as you play by playing, a different card, and it's good. So that is 7 Prophecies. And another little card game, I'm not going to give this one much mention actually, is Olanon, which you're supposed to yell when you clear the board of 4 cards. Olanon, but it's okay. Anyway,
I hate when games have that kind of gimmick thing.
Yeah. It's a different. It's a very strange little game, but it's all right. It's all right. I enjoyed it. And then the last one is the one that I will hold off on because that's the main entry for this episode, and it's T-Witches.
All right. Well, sounds good. I mean, I'm pretty excited, and I think I'm gonna head out to this con next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really that far away, and I mean, it sounds like you're gonna have to. It was packed, right? I mean, they sold all the tickets, so
right.
Gotta get on early.
Full for the space, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I get the email.
All right. Well, like they said, we got 2 more games that we're gonna go over real quick, but that was the end of this topic here, and that's Capcon 25. So the first game we're going to talk about, though, is James, and he's going to go and show us about Tea Garden.
Okay, Tea Garden. It is a game by Capstone Games that I played the last game I played at the con, and it was probably my favorite of the whole con. And it is designer by, I forget, George said this earlier, Tomasz Holek.
Yes.
And
Man, he really
that's
has been
right.
pumping them out.
He really
Jeez.
has. Yeah.
For
it is
context,
a
real quick, just for context, the con you're referring to, because of this will be
Capcon.
cut into a video, is Capcon 2025, Capstone
yes, and
Games
it's
Convention.
even though the picture on here says Alibis, it is published by Capcon or Capstone Games. that's where I picked it up at. I picked this up on Sunday right after I played it because it was that good. It's your harvesting tea is the theme, and it's a deck builder. What you're doing is you got a hand of cards, and you got 3 slots on the round that for free that you can play cards, but you one slot at a time you go in circles. Each turn you just play a set of cards you want, and then it goes around, and there's a 4th slot, but you can pay for if you want to, if you have more cards, enough cards in your hand. So, and what you do, it's kind of a different deck builder in the sense of you're playing power. You're playing a power, like on this, you're seeing in the middle here, these are some of your starter deck cards. You can tell by the fan on the right there. And you're worried about these red numbers at the top. So this hand right here on the middle is a 3 power. So that gives you a strength of 3 to play on anything. And you have 5 main actions. And it got kind of confusing at first. You see these icons in the middle. These are secondary actions. Main action are 5 actions. And I'll just talk about a couple. And you don't need, some of them are just little ones, but you can buy
And the power is how you get to do it, sort of like Arc
Right.
Nova.
Kind of like, see, this is a little bit of zoom in of the card market. So that's one of the actions. You can buy a card. At the top there shows you that power you need to be able to buy that card below that power.
Okay.
So the 2 left ones are 1 power, a minimum. You can overpay. 2
So
minimum. It
each
goes
of
up
those-
to 5.
Each of those slots on your board is effectively one action you're going to do, and you're putting
Yes.
down cards in that slot
Right.
to power it up.
Right, and you can play as many cards, and then you can play all your cards from your hand on the first thing, but then you're not doing anything for the rest of the round. So you want to spread it out and also, as different from other deck builders, is when you buy a card. So your first round, you definitely want to buy a card because they're going to be more powerful than the cards that you have in starter deck, like usual. That goes straight into your hand. So you can immediately play it. It doesn't go into your deck.
That's good.
So, and any cards you don't use in that round carries over to the next round. So you might have more cards later round if you just kept 2 in your hand. You'll have
can
those
set
2
yourself
extra
up.
than I think it's 4 is what you draw every round. So you'll have 6 cards. And the bottom right of these cards are what they cost. That's 3 green tea leaves or 3. That's okay. This is where it got confusing. 2 leaves to the power of 3. Now, I'll go back to this real quick. See it on your board. You've got bowls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are the power leaves. They're either green leaves, which are normal, you just fresh picked leaves, or roasted leaves, which are the brown side, which are more powerful. They give you better, but they spin the same. The reason you care about where they are on here is the more powerful the leaves, but you're going to want to spend the lower power ones if you have to spend it on extra actions. But the secondary actions will allow you to go up tracks. You use the power and you do a main action. One main action is buy an action card. Another one is build a tea garden, which are these little pagodas. You put a pagoda in one of these areas. Everybody starts with 1 in this 2. And that's what happens at the end of the round. Wherever you have your pagodas, you get 2 tea leaves of that power. You see these numbers 3, 4, 2.
Yep.
So every end of round, you're going to want a bunch of these pagodas out there, and at the end of the game, you're going to have just tons of leaves at the end of the round. There's 4 rounds, and at the third round, you're going to have tons of leaves and it's unlimited leaves in your little bowls there. So, and I always made sure I emptied my bowls, spent all my leaves every round. So I pretty much had nothing before the end of the round, and then at the end of you get more leaves making sure you get all these pagodas out there, and they'll give you wherever you set up. And there's limited number of spaces, so everybody, if a more player game, we had 4 players. If there's like some of these spaces have 2 areas have 2 spaces, and then 4, and you're just building out, and you're trying to get higher because it goes up to 6, I think, over there, and you're trying to get over there and get those type of leaves.
Okay, and
later
did
on
you
the
get
round.
your customary second place with this strategy?
No, I got first place in this game.
Hey,
And that's maybe why I liked it a lot more. I don't know. So second, and then the third main big action. There's 2 others I'm not going to talk about, but the biggest one is to sell to caravans. Let me see if I got a picture of that. All that is mainly you're selling your leaves to you kind of see them over here. Let me see if I can zoom in here.
like contract fulfillment.
Yeah, contract fulfillment where you're spending your leaves, and you're getting, depending on what you're spending. Like here it says 2 leaves, and 2 leaves, and you get. I'll have to explain that. That one is I didn't do this one, so it's stupid. 2. Let's look at the top one here. You spend 2 leaves to get a token that allows you to do some action twice.
Gotcha.
A secondary action twice that you've showed. Now I'll explain secondary actions real quick. Or you can spend 4 leaves to get a secondary action and cull a card, which you obviously want to. It's a deck builder, so you're wanting to cull your starter cards because they're going to be the less powerful ones. Then, depending on the power you used, you get, if you use just 2 power to play this action, you get 3 points. If it's 3 or more power, you get 4 points and a king favor, which you go up on this king favor check. You can't see it. Let's see. But you go on the track, and that's probably what won me the game because I went to the top of this. And that allows you to get, the more important thing about this is you get the coal cards as you see there. And the big thing is in-game scoring cards. You get 3 total if you go up the track. And that gives you a lot of points at the end. And you're wanting, they have a list, you see, they have cards out there you can pull to cater to what you're working on in the game. So, I mean, right here is what they are. Like this one has just straight up 12 points, but they're also action cards. So they have powers. These are free cards if you go on that track, but they have a bunch of secondary stuff on here.
Okay.
In the middle is the secondary actions.
Yeah.
And these are actually a good one to show. Like what you do is you play the card, you do you can do it in any order. You can do the main actions, one of the main actions using the powers, and then whatever you show on the bottom cards, if you played multiple cards, whatever's showing in the middle is your secondary action. Here there's a rondelle that you move your people around and get just resources and stuff. That's what this little scroll with a pin is. I did not utilize that at all. I was worried, but it didn't matter because wherever you end, you can get in-game scoring. And if you keep going around it, you get 10 points every time you do a circle. This one is a ship action. You move up on that river, and you're getting resources again. And then further you go, you get in-game scoring. Then also that gives you some roasted leaves. Also, there's a teapot action I'm not going to really talk about. You're trying to chain those together, and that's what that one circle thing was. You put it in the middle, and you get to choose one of those things on either side. I didn't really utilize that either. Nobody did. But also, just real quick on this, there's teapots in here. That gives you, in your whole tableau that you played, you can use those. At the bottom, you see these cards, like that's a green teapot.
Sure.
To buy this card, you're going to have a green teapot showing in your tableau that you've played in that round.
So whatever top card you have
On
has to
top
have
of 3 2-power leaves.
Okay.
And so obviously this is red, but this is wild. So you could use a red to buy a gray one.
Yeah.
But you have to have that pot showing. There's other ways to get tea kettle pots if you don't have it to make up for that. So that's the main game. It's just points. You're trying to, as you can see, go on the river. It's at the heart. It's just a deck building game. And if you play cards right, you're going to play 3 turns in a round. You can also play 4 by spending 2 green leaves and a brown leaf.
Okay.
And you can actually take a 4th turn in that round.
Does each player do all 4 3 or 4 of their actions at a time? Or does everybody do their first action, then everybody does their second, and so
yeah, that's right. One action, you do your first action and it goes around, and everybody does their second action and goes around, third action goes around. And,
Let me ask you this.
Cool. I like that because then you don't really know what actions people are going to do, but based on what values they put down there, you might have a clue.
And then, you might have a plan, but then somebody take one of these spots and fill up a field that you can't get to now. So you've changed your plans. You've got to do something else. And there are ways to skip. You have to go adjacent to where your pagodas are, but there's ways to skip that. So that was a good strategy. Me and this other woman used it. We skipped some of the fields to get over to get the higher power leaves, and that helped earlier on to get, be able to buy stuff.
Did you buy a lot of extra actions? Because this is a Thomas Holek game, and in forestry, you can also buy extra actions. And I did that all the time. I would always spend my money on extra actions, and I would run away with it. Well, not run away with it. I would win.
I probably did it at least twice in the game. I said 4 rounds. I don't know I think it might be more.
Well, this you don't just get another action. You just unlock a slot that you have to put cards in.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that would make it you either.
Yeah, it's another action. But it's not permanent unlock. You have to
just for that
buy it
round.
every round.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, I've got enough cards and I can play a 4th, and I've got enough tea leaves to pay for it. So I'll pay for it.
Interestingly enough, did you do that more earlier on, or is it better, or does it make more sense later in the game?
Couldn't do it earlier on because you didn't have enough cards and stuff.
Well, I guess what I meant by early is like more mid-game.
Yeah, I did it more mid-game. I probably did one at the very last round. I can't remember what game in is. I don't think it's 4 rounds. I think there's something else that triggers game in, and I can't remember. I've totally blanked on the game in, but that's fine. So, but
I do have
know
one question.
I did it the last round.
In the reviews of the game, at least on Board Game Geek, people were talking about no player interaction, but I kind of feel like there is a little bit of indirect.
There's not like you're giving stuff to each other, but you can take stuff away from people, or like I said, you can fill up a field that nobody else can get to. Then so you're blocking people from or getting cards. Just like any deck builder, you grab the juicy card before somebody else can get it. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's your normal like Euro. I mean,
so you all start in that first
player
field.
interaction, but I mean, I'm a sucker for deck builders, so that definitely hit with me.
I think it looks cool.
You all start in that first field, right? But then are you saying each other field, once someone goes there, that's it? No one else can join?
No, there's slots. There's special slots for it.
I see.
Numbers. As you can see, this one here has 3. This one has 2. Yeah.
I see them.
Because it's the square of the bottom of the pagoda. And you can, on the pagodas, you have to have that power. That's another where the power, trying to zoom in here, and it's not working that well. You see 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. So,
sure.
And you don't have to go from left to right. So if you play 6 power on your when you play on your cards, you can then use that 6 power pagoda and move it out there and still have 5s out there, which I did that a few times.
Interesting, yeah.
So but you're going to want to eventually, I mean, obviously you're wanting to start with the lower ones because that's what you're going to have. I just happen to have what I had was 6 power, so it's like, why not use the 6 power one then and save the 5 one if I have a lower power.
Make it easier for yourself later.
Right. So I mean, it's just one of those games that clicks with me, and that's why I like it. It's just deck building is good. In-game scoring I like a lot, and you dictate that, and the delivery was the really high point for it because it gave you extra points and powers. So I was hesitant about that at first, but then I saw another guy doing it. I was like, no, this is actually really powerful to deliver these tea leaves, even though you're supposed to use them to spend other stuff. That's actually a pretty good deal because it gives you points and it gives you extra powers and stuff. And there's a lot of free actions. The going up on that Emperor's track is free, a free action. You just have to you get that token and you spend the token to go up on that track. And,
where are you in the world geographically?
It looks like Japan.
Yeah, in the Japan tea. Is that where?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
It looks Japan. I'd say that's probably Mount Fuji.
Well,
Fiji.
it has Japanese katakana.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say
stuff. So,
Japanese.
Oh, okay, cool.
It says the sharp peaks of the Yunnan Mountains. So wherever that is,
That's China, isn't
Greater
it?
China.
oh, I was
So it's
wrong.
China. It's Chinese.
Maybe it's just
Chinese is
kanji then.
But yeah, and the insert is great. It comes with it. It fits perfect for all the boards and everything. I recommend it. But that is, I mean,
Is that a rondelle at the top corner?
yeah, it's a little rondelle. That's one a secondary action. You go around, you get uh, resources from it. Trying to zoom in.
Do you get something by going all the way around it?
Yeah, did you miss
I love that.
part? I think you missed that part. Oh, did I just close it out? What it is if you go all the way around it, you get to put you have these set of dudes, and you put one in the middle, and at the end of the game, every dude you have in the middle is 10 points.
Okay.
And I can tell you, I did not. I think I moved once in the whole game.
I would be doing that the whole time.
I won by 20 points. So,
Well, I'll say one last thing that I kind of thought of as you're explaining this. It gives me, at least with the deck building on your player board, where you're laying out cards in those 3 fields. It's not, but it gave me vibes of Ezra and Nehemiah
Oh,
to some regard, because you got to
yeah.
count up all the different color flags, and it affects that action.
I
And
can
these are
see
just
that.
straight numbers, but a little bit more control because you get to choose where they go, and maybe you don't want to overpay for an action, but you might want to put some extra points there just in case somebody does fill up that spot on the board and you can't go there now, so you got to pivot and do something different.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that. And like in this example, this person, whoever is in this picture, they're planning on buying a card because you just see tea kettles out here as a secondary action. So that means they can buy a card with green or red or whatever mixture.
All right, well, let's do final thoughts, and then we'll wrap this one up.
This is a excellent game. It's my favorite of the con. Probably little edges out raising Chicago by just a little bit. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Definitely,
Nice.
I bought it, and I'd definitely play it again. I'll try to get my game group to play it. I mean, I love deck. If you like deck builders, this is a good twist on deck builders. I highly recommend it. If you like in-game scoring, trying to get up tracks to do in-game scoring, this is a game for you too. And I really recommend it, and it's really fun.
I'm
Cool.
definitely going to give this a try.
All right, well, that's Tea Garden by Capstone Games. And last up on this episode, we are going over Tea Witches, and George is going to tell us about it. Go ahead, George.
All right, so Tea Witches is a game that is by Manny Vega, and the artist is Sandara Tang. They are the duo that did Flamecraft, and this is one that is a bit more complex than Flamecraft and is a bit more satisfying as far as I'm concerned. I think this is a game that is not so much a gateway. It's got a little bit more going on. The game Tea Witches has a board that is comprised of all of these different shops that you can go to, very much like Flamecraft was. But in this case, you also have decks of cards that you're dealing with. The premise of the game is you have this Tequinox fair that happens over 4 days. So there's 4 rounds to the game. And as you play through, you're going to be taking this deck of cards that has various witches in it, and you're going to be shuffling that first of all, and then playing them out one at a time in a push your luck style, because if you get 2 of the same color or type of witch, then you bust and you get hexed. So these witches are lining up at your tea shop in order to buy tea from you, and I guess they've been waiting too long. If you draw the same witch twice, that witch gets fed up and they cast some kind of magic hex on you and on your shop, which makes all the witches that weren't protected by wards just leave because they don't want to be around that hex. And so whether or not that happens, you can stop any time in this push your luck where you're summoning these witches and playing them out. You'll end up with a certain number of witches lined up in front of your shop that you're going to then try to serve. The way that you're going to do that is with the use of these adorable tea pups that are these magical teapots that you send out to do your bidding. Those are your workers in the game. So you send out these teapots into one of the shops, and when you do that, there's several things that can happen. Firstly, they can fill themselves from the particular type of tea that is in the fountain that is adjacent to that shop. That's one of the actions you can do. And each of these shops has various slots where you can put your teacup, and they will give you a certain number of actions that you can do. It could be 3 actions. It could be 2 actions. It could be 2 actions and you get a topping, or it could be 1 action and you get a topping. And the actions are simply fill your teacup from the fountain with that particular type of tea, or turn the fountain. You can turn it anywhere you want, to any color you want. So you're getting tea into your teacup. If you fill a teacup that has already got tea in it, then the teacup will take the tea back to your hut, empty itself out, and then go back and take the color that you're putting into it. So that's how you can actually take tea and store it in your hut during the game. All the way around the board, there are these different shops. They all have a power. So you put your teacup out, you get actions, you use those actions, and then you do the power of the particular boutique that you're at, whatever that power is. Some of them give you cards. Some of them give you special to-go order cards that are secret until the end of the round. Some of them will let you get upgrades that you can then put into your hut. And as you upgrade your hut, it'll give you more places to keep your tea, which you're going to need. Because once you've placed your pup out and you've filled it, turned the fountain, filled it again if you wanted, however many actions you get, then you've done the boutique action. The last thing you get to do is you get to serve witches. You can serve the witches that are in your line in front of your hut. And they have certain teas that they want. They have certain toppings that they want with those teas. If you can satisfy them, then you serve them their tea, and they go into your loyal customer area. That's great, because then they're going to be coming back every time. Is
that a tooth?
It is. It's a sweet tooth, but these are witches, so they actually put actual teeth in the teeth.
Okay.
There's sweet teeth, and then there are boba bugs. They put bugs in the tea because they're boba bugs. And the last one is eye cubes. Not ice cubes, it's eye cubes that they put in. That's what they want. Yeah. And then you've got 6 different colors of tea. There's herbal tea, light tea, dark tea, spiced tea, green tea, and floral tea. And they all have different ones that they want. So you have these witches that you can then make into your loyal customers. And then there are other witches that are celebrity witches that give you a power when you serve them. They can become your loyal customers too. And then they come back the next day, you can serve them again, and you get their power again. And the loyal witches will give you money. They'll give you these heart tokens. When you get all the way up your heart track, you get a coupon. And you're going to need those coupons, because it's really hard to just keep serving the same witches, the same tea over and over. But you don't want to lose your customers. So if you can't serve one of them, you can say, okay, I'm sorry, I can't serve you today. Here's a coupon. Please come again. and that way you won't lose them as a loyal witch. They'll come back again, even though you haven't served them that day. And at the very end of the game, the person who has served the most witches on the very last day, each of the witches that you serve is going to give you points. Each of the upgrades that you put into your hut is going to give you points. There are points for to-go order cards. I should have mentioned, at the very end of your turn, you're going to say, okay, I've served all my witches that I can. Now it's last call for to-go orders. When you do that, everybody looks at their to-go order cards. And if you can match the teapups in the particular configuration on the board with the configuration that they are with the fountain, you could satisfy the condition of your to-go order, even when it's not on your turn. And you can get money and hearts for doing that. And that gives you points at the end of the game as well. So there's points for amount of tea that you have left over. There's points for extra toppings that you have left over. And there's, of course, points for the amount of money that you get as you're serving these witches at the end. And you add everything up, and the person with the most is the winner. And it is such a smooth, fun game. I really enjoy this one.
I think the first question everyone's going to have is compare this to Flamecraft.
Yep.
And is there room for both?
There's definitely room for both. They're quite dissimilar, honestly.
Okay.
Flamecraft is one where you feel like you're just drowning in resources after a while, because the way the game works, the number of dragons that are there, people have to give you resources when they're at the same shop.
Yeah.
This one is not like that. This one is tight. This one, you're really puzzling out, how am I going to get all the teas that I need? There are certain upgrades you can get to your shop that when you put a tea into this upgrade, it generates more tea of the same kind. There's other ones where you buy this upgrade and it comes pre-filled with tea of your choice, and then you can spend money to refill it. There's ways to get the tea that you need, but it's not necessarily easy. And it's just really fun going through that summoning push your luck phase and seeing, okay, how many witches do I get at my hut? And that's important because whoever has the most without getting hexed is going to get to go first. And then if you're hexed, if everyone's hexed, then you look at your to-go orders, and whoever has the highest number on their to-go order card gets to go first. So there's a way to do it, but it's not ideal.
The components look awesome.
The components are fantastic.
This is just the standard version of the game, right?
Yeah. And actually, I recommend the standard version of the game because the upgraded components, these are the glass beads. And you can see in this example, the person has put out the glass beads of various colors, but not all of them. And the reason they haven't put all of them out, and they've used the pink and the green still of cardboard, is because the pink looks so much like the purple that it's unusable. And the yellow looks so much like the green, it's unusable. So that's a major fail.
It's weird too, because the cardboard components have art.
Yeah.
And the beads are just kind of plain and see-through.
Yeah, it really is better. And you don't need the little wooden eye cubes and teeth and boba bugs. Like the art on the cardboard is perfectly fine. And if you're going to upgrade the components in a game that has money, why do you not upgrade the money?
Is this 3D printed stuff here, or is this part of the game, like the bowls and the middle thing that you
the bowls and the fountain are fantastic components that come with the game.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's so nice. This is like the full game with the fountain, and it's on this little spinning deal that spins very easily to turn the fountain around. The game works fantastically well, and is a tighter, much more competitive experience than Flamecraft, I think. I really love the game. The problem that I have with the game, though, is if you're playing with people who are AP kind of players.
I was reading about this.
There is so much to think about because you have these teapups. You start with 2 of them, then you get a third on the 3rd day of the game. And when you put out your teapup, you have to think, which boutique am I going to? Which of these spots on the boutique am I going to? What am I going to try to do with this pup? Am I trying to get my to-go order? Well, then it's going to matter where the fountain is in relation to my pup. So do I turn it? Do I fill it? Am I getting this card? Am I serving this person? Am I trying to get another upgrade or ward for my hut? What is happening? You've got so much to think about. And you have to do all these things sequentially that it takes quite a bit of time. And if somebody has a hard time making a decision, it'll take even longer. So it is a long game, and you go from this very short push your luck summoning, flipping over cards to, okay, now I've put out my teapup and I've done my things. There's 3 more players to go before it gets back to me and I get my next teapup. It's going to take a while. So there is a lot of downtime, unfortunately, with the 4-player game. But here's the thing. I just put a post up on BGG because I have a solution for this.
Here comes the house rules.
That's right.
The George special.
I call it the Dragon Valley variant because there's a game that came out in 2012 called Dragon Valley. And Dragon Valley was a game where it was I split, you choose in a very complicated kind of Euro-y scoring kind of thing. And there was a whole lot to think about. And so the person who was doing the I split you choose at the start of the round would take a lot of time sometimes figuring out how to split things up. And in that game, their solution, which I haven't seen anywhere else, and this is the first time I've seen it, I think it's brilliant. Their solution was to put with the game little mini games that the other players could be playing against each other while the person was doing the I split you choose. And the winner of the mini game got rewards in the actual game. So if the person with the AP who is taking longer to make their choice, they're just the longer they take, the more opportunity they're giving for their opponents to get extra stuff.
That's wild.
Brilliant.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Punishing though.
So here's what I'm thinking. Do it in this game, right? If the active player is taking time to make their decision and do all their stuff, the other players can do that whole summoning phase again, reshuffle your cards, do the summoning thing, and see how many witches you get in your line compared to the others. And the person who ends up with the most gets like a boba bug, or
I have a better idea,
or a tea thing, whatever. Like you don't get all the rewards. You don't get like money and everything that you would normally get from the summoning phase, but you can do it for like one little reward, and it gives you a fun thing to do while you're doing it.
Better mini game. Here we go.
Okay.
You can only do it with the upgraded components because you need the plastic ones. You play Tiddlywinks and you shoot the pieces into the fountain.
That's pretty good, except they're not plastic, they're glass.
No, oh, dang.
Yeah. But you can still flip them. The fountain is great for that.
Yeah, you can flip them. You can flip them off your thumb. You just can't flip over the board. You have to be outside the boundary of the board. And for every two that you get in there, you get one of those resources. So the first player better be going fast.
Well, I mean, I'm not against it. I like dexterity games. But with my solution, you get to actually do that fun witch summoning part of push your luck more than just 4 times a game as well.
That's fair.
So I'm happy with that one. But overall, I'm happy with the game itself. Even though it takes a long time, I have a great time with this one.
Well, cool. Any other final thoughts, or is that you?
That's it for me. I highly recommend T-Witches.
What about you, James? Anything? Comments?
Looks interesting. Well, I mean, I like Flamecraft, but if it's a little bit better than that, yeah, I definitely want to check that one out.
All the art is all the card art is unique from the different players in the witch decks that you're flipping over for your when you bust or don't, and so the art is just lovely. Sandara art is makes this game for sure.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. All right, well, thank you. That is T-Witches, and that's by the Op. Is that right?
Yes, sorry, by the Op.
Cool. Check it out. And that, sirs, brings us to the end of this episode. I'm very glad because my tongue is stinging. So, any final
pretty
things?
soon you'll be tying cherry stems like. Nothing.
One of the exercises, I'm supposed to get a piece of gum and like roll it into a ball with the top of my mouth. I ain't doing that.
You're gonna be making it into like little animals.
I mimic it without it, but anything else before we wrap it up?
That's it for me.
That's it for me.
All right. We want to thank you for tuning into episode 156 of the MeepleCore Gaming Podcast. This episode was recorded on October 10th, 2025. Send questions and comments to MeepleCore at Gmail. Follow at MeepleCore on your favorite social media. Check out video versions of this show on youtube.com/MeepleCore. Until next time, this is Tim Jennette, the Metal Meeple.
George Breden.
James Fitzgerald.
Keep on rocking and rolling dice.